taking it off. There we go. Today is Friday the 17th, September 2020. We're here again at Peggy's Miller Sterling's house in McAllen, Texas. And she's going to talk about Bruce Sterling, I think, this
Yes.
time, a Bruce Sterling story. So go for it, Peg.
Okay, but first, you see, I keep track of all my birthdays, my brothers and sisters. So happy birthday, Brother Pete. Tomorrow is my brother Winnie's birthday. His grandfather was called Winnie. So to me, his grandson is Winnie, who's named after him. So my brother is Winnie, recording my stories because right now my health has been really fragile. Now when I leave, I'm in a wheelchair. So I am telling these life stories that you don't know because they must be recorded. They're awesome. So Brother Bruce was a thorn in my side from age 2. When I'm 1 year old, I basically go to live with Aunt Augusta myself. So Bruce is always throwing rotten oranges at Aunt Augusta because she has these great standards of milking cows, of taking the cream for butter and gathering the eggs. And Bruce is totally offended by her perfection. And by darn, he's not going to be that person. But stupid Peggy Jo is down there doing whatever she says, because I go to live with her when I'm 1 year old. Fanny is born when I'm 15 months old. So I'm this little 1 year old with a mother who has to have Fanny in her arms because Fanny cries because she is allergic to everything. She is the most beautiful little girl you ever saw, big brown eyes. She's the first kid born with brown eyes, and she's kid number 4, and she's allergic to everything. Poor thing. She has these high dimples under her eyes. She cries all the time, and her dimples are always filled with tears. I was never, ever jealous of Sister Ruth. And so I had a mother, and Aunt Augusta was it. And so Bruce was this enigma in the sight of Aunt Augusta. She just couldn't stand Bruce. He had no standards. He was so smart, and he wasn't using his talent well. And it was hurtful to Aunt Augusta to witness. Bruce is this bright, blonde-headed little boy. I mean, his mother had dark, deep brown hair, beautiful long hair. His dad was 6'4" and had blazing red hair. So where did this perfectly gorgeous little blonde boy come from? Dorothy comes along 2 years later. Mom and Dad are married in October, and every other year, they had a child, all 3 of their first children born in October. Next is Dorothy Lee, and she also has blonde hair. When Peggy Jo is born, she's pretty much bald, but her hair is a fuzzy red, so she's a redhead from birth. So, you know, we're all these odd kids with parents who did not have the same hair color that their parents did. Our mother had very green eyes, so she had this unusual color, white skin, dark hair with green eyes. She was spectacular. And so nobody else in the whole family ever had Mom's green eyes. So, but she was producing these little blue-eyed children, and a couple of them were brown eyes. So anyway, growing up, Bruce gets this bantam rooster. It's blind in one eye. So the cock on this little rooster's head, it's a bantam rooster, so it's a miniature little boy chicken out there with big flapping head of comb on his head, and it flops around all the time because he has to move his head fast to be able to see from one side to the other. Bruce might be ready to kill him with a stick at any time, and he's on the lookout for Bruce, flicking his head all through the yard. And so Bruce continues to grow. I am a sporty kind of girl, so I learned to milk cows. Bruce is drowning ants. We had all these mounds of red ants, harvester ants. So he's drowning all these ants, and I'm filling the bucket with milk. His milk is going to kill ants and feed these little
Not cats?
cats. So all these barn cats come up and stand on their back legs, and Bruce is feeding them. And these little old sizes of animals are standing there licking milk. And so Bruce is busy doing his kind of milking. And Aunt Augusta is fuming because he's so disrespectful to her. The way she made a living was selling milk to the Golden Jersey Creamery. He's wasting it. So she's always mad at Bruce. So Bruce starts at a very young age picking on me. By the time I'm in, second grade, I have long braids. Aunt Augusta braids my hair every morning because I'm sleeping at her house. So I'm being raised by two mothers. My mother misses me, and so she has me home, and I help raise the next baby. And Mom and I are really close. We do good things together because Aunt Augusta has taught me her standards. So listen to instructions and then very carefully go do them. So I execute everything my mother wants me to do. So we are close. She's a close mother to me, and it's very hard on her to have me distant. But basically, Aunt Augusta teaches me how to grow up to be valedictorian of her class in school, as she had done. So from this tiny little girl, she's teaching me standards of being valedictorian. Your hair is always neat. Your clothes are always pressed. Your teeth are always brushed. If we're unable to give you clean parts in your hair, she would scrub your scalp until it was clean and the dirt was gone, and your head is burning from all the weight of her washcloth cleaning your scalp to go to school. So I grew up using all of Aunt Augusta's standards. They were totally different than my brothers and sisters who didn't start living with her at age 1. Bruce is going to be after me my whole life. So I learned to do the back bend because he wants to go in the house and steal fried chicken that Mom has made, chopping off their head, removing all their feathers and boiling water. And Mom has done all this work, and she has limited amounts of chicken. My mother only ate the neck of the chicken because Dad had the breast, everybody had their pieces of chicken, and Mom was left with the neck of the chicken. That's how she fed her family. She was last, they were first. Mom started cleaning up any left food on the plate so a scrap didn't go to waste, and she started gaining weight. But I watched my mother. She was an excellent cook. So Bruce wants me to go in and steal a piece of chicken, and I'm not going to do it. My mother has spent the whole morning frying that chicken, and I know what she's done to get that chicken to the table. And by darn, I'm not going to go steal a piece of chicken for me. So he takes my braids, and I learn to do the back bend. I learned to flip cartwheels out of his way to get away. I can flip cartwheels for a city block in Edinburgh, Texas, to show Grandpa's neighbors my ability to do the cartwheel down the street, trying to avoid stickers in my hands. So I learned to outrun Bruce and my boy cousins. I outrun everybody. I have to get away from Bruce. One time I'm running through the grass in the yard, and there's the weed eater that Bruce had carelessly left out in tall grass that he was responsible for taking down and making a yard out of this beautiful grass. So this hidden weed eater, I come down on it going 40 miles an hour running away from Bruce, and I almost lost my foot. So I scream, Bruce runs away, and Mom comes out, and I'm bleeding so bad. She wraps my foot in a kitchen towel and gets me to the car and gets me to the doctor where I'm stitched together. But blood is everywhere. So Mom comes to save me. Bruce runs away, that little chicken. I'm always mad at Bruce. He has no standards for anything, and I'm always furious at him. He has all these brains that he's wasting skipping school. So I'm always mad at Bruce. I'm always going to escape him. I learned we have a tree house in this olive tree that had these kind of gnarled branches. It always was full of ants eating the fruit of this tree. So I have to be careful of ants, but I can shinny up that tree and I can shrink my body down to nothing to hide from Bruce. And I watch him run around the yard trying to find me. And I'm up there quiet as a mouse. So I've escaped Bruce once again. I have my ways. So this is my life with my brother Bruce. I mean, he really loves me, and I am a total wreck in his opinion because I can outrun him. I can do anything. I mean, I shed blood for him. He made life hell for me. So I willingly went down to Aunt Augustus to sleep and live by her codes. So this is my life with Brother Bruce. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Good story, Peg. Good story. Thank you.
My life of